Welcome to this moment.
Hey
Welcome
y'all.
to this moment, love. Welcome back to the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. This is episode 107. 107. And it's Fuel Day, so that's exciting.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what Fuel Day means, it just simply means that our podcast follows our 5-prong healing system, consisting of the concepts be, cleanse, fuel, move, and shine. And today is Wednesday, so it's Fuel Day. Fuel is a concept that basically points to what we consume. And this is what we consume as far as our sustenance and our biological, bless you, means of sustaining ourselves. Our food and drink, if you will. But it also means what we consume via feeding our minds, what type of food for thought we are giving ourselves. And over here, we are not of the philosophy that all entertainment is the same, that all advertisement is the same, that everything that you consume has value. Positive value, if you will, like will contribute to
your health, your fulfillment, long
fulfillment.
term.
We're not of that philosophy. We are definitely of the philosophy that truth is simple, and there are things that are good to consume as well as are things that are bad to consume, especially, let's say, consume every day, right? Like adult content, pornography, stuff like that. What we are talking about today is the not so simple zone that we're going to try and bring some simplicity to, which is actually rooted in the power of propagandas.
And before we get into the nitty gritties of the topic for today, in case you don't know who we are, good day, love. I am Coach Tensi.
I'm Coach Soul.
We are Ufulu Child. Ufulu means freedom. And every day of this podcast, we are rededicating to the truth seeker, the freedom seeker. So all of the freedom seeking adults, and most likely you are a working mom, most likely you are also struggling to manage and or reverse some sort of autoimmune condition, okay? And so this is really who we're speaking to with this podcast. But honestly, this information is stuff that needs to be known by families. So if you're the wisdom keeper in your family, quote unquote, or you trying to walk into that role, then this is stuff that we're covering every work day of the week on this podcast that low key everybody in your family would be great if they knew. So yeah. With that being said, we are diving into and getting into the truth diet, quote unquote, consuming content that heals, not harms. So welcome in, love, Grand Rising. And I might have to get up and bounce with Omi a little bit. Might have to get up and bounce with Omi a little bit. So take the wheel. So take the wheel. So
yeah. So like I said, we want to bring some understanding to some of the content that we are consuming via food for thought. First of all, I'd want to say your brain is an associate, or your mind within your brain learns via association. It is an associating machine. It associates this with this, this with this. And so one of the ways that it does that is it associates entertainment with the feeling of good, or the understanding that this is good, this is passive, this is fine, whatever it is. If it's in the box of entertainment, in my understanding, then it's automatically put in a good or neutral zone, but via association, at least when you're growing up, because a lot of the entertainment that you consume when you're growing up is either educational or comical. That said, that association is incorrect. I'll just put it plain and simple. Entertainment can be good, can be neutral, and entertainment also can be harmful. Again, especially if the same kind of entertainments are consumed on a daily basis. Um, but we're not going to talk about, solely entertainment today. We are going to talk about actually a different association, which is that of advertisement. Okay. Today we're going to dive into the power of the propagandists. The propagandas are
The
influence.
propagandas.
The propagandas are influencing our purchases. They're influencing our perception of um, our perception of like healthy choices, our perception of unhealthy choices, our perception of healthy habits, our perception of unhealthy habits. Propaganda is, and as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and just um, define it. Propaganda is a congregation of cardinals. uh, no, that's here we go. Okay. Propaganda, dissemination of information, facts, arguments, rumors, half truths, or lies to influence public opinion. So it's information that is designed to influence public opinion. That is the very simple definition. What's up, Natural Lebs? A very, very simple definition for propaganda: information that is designed to influence your opinion. Okay, to influence how you associate what you're consuming with good, bad, or neutral. Okay, and okay all the time or not okay all the time. Right, these associations are what we're going to pay attention to. And of course, there are masters of propaganda, and there are people that are amateurs and not very good at it. There are companies that are experts in psychology and can use propaganda in a very expert way and influence public opinion in on mass scales, worldwide scales. And there are companies and organizations that can convert some people, but not all people, and converts, for example, for example, there is always and always has been pretty much an ongoing propaganda campaign to get people to join militaries, to join the arm of the government via getting into the military. And this campaign is extremely successful, beyond words successful, not in immediately um making somebody want to be a recruit, not in just immediate recruitment, but in long-term association of military with good, military with fighting for freedom, military with protecting the innocent. And these associations lead people to go and join this organization that does what it does. For example, bomb people thousands of miles away who we don't know via the drone program, right? At least talking about here in America. So there's associations that this huge campaign, and it's worldwide, right? Whatever military, whatever country you're from, they are running a constant join the military propaganda campaign. And it is an extremely successful, if you just look at the human family as a whole, campaign. Now, does it recruit everybody? No. But how many, and let's extend it out for what I'm about to say, the propaganda campaign to work for government at all, to just work for the government in any capacity, or work for what you think is the government in any capacity. Here in the United States, they recently just hired 80,000 IRS agents. That's one agency, one business, if you will, of accountants. 80,000 IRS agents were just hired like that. Why? Because the propaganda campaign of come and work for the government is extremely successful. Now let's take it to your average household. What may influence these working moms out here? What may influence the target audience of this uh, podcast? Because my first example is more so just to set the point. Have any of you ever heard of a man by the name of Edward Bernays? Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is basically known as the father of propaganda. And he basically collaborated with a beech nut packing company uh, uh, to create a study suggesting that a hearty breakfast, including bacon and eggs, was essential for good health. Okay. And he wrote to a bunch of physicians, and he is responsible for getting bacon, eggs, and pancakes, and all of these things onto the television screens as a propaganda campaign to make us change how we view and how we consume food to break our fast. Okay. Hey, hey, I know her. Oh my gosh, your name is escaping me for some reason. Judy. Hey, Judy. Because your Instagram name is Nani Shea Butter. Um, but yes, so Bernays' efforts successfully popularized bacon and eggs as breakfast as a staple in the United States. And if you know anything about bacon, okay, it is extremely greasy. It's not good. It's not good for you, especially not when you're just breaking your fast. When you're coming out of fasting, from sundown the previous day, the first thing that you eat is this incredibly greasy, food, coming from most of the time coming from swine, which is an animal that is not a very clean eating animal, right? Pigs will eat anything, and they don't sweat. They sweat. Their toxins just come out of their hooves very slowly, so they have lots and lots and lots of stuff in their bodies when they're alive that you don't want no parts of as a human being. And so, although eggs are pretty much as long as it's pasture raised and whatnot, eggs are kind of fine. Bacon and pancakes and all of the rest of the breakfast foods, the muffins and all of the rest of the breakfast foods that ended up tagging along with this bacon and eggs campaign have negatively influenced what mothers are doing with their children. No offense, right? And it's because we don't know where it came from, why it came out, and there's one more food related, fuel related um, propaganda campaign that changed so many things for the worst, especially here in the West, which has to do with corn oil. Okay. Well, corn oil, vegetable oil, canola oil, and these things that were invented originally as engine lubricants for large machines.
Sorry, my reaction was audible. Just walked back in. I was like, corn oil was greasing engines.
Corn oil was, corn oil, yes, corn oil and vegetable oil were invented
And canola oil is vegetable oil.
as
Wow.
as engine lubricants. And then they were making so much that they said, well, hey, how can we get people to eat engine lubricant?
So that we can, sell it and it's cheap to make. So
And they repackaged it as, because it's from vegetables, it's healthy oil to consume in your bodies, in human bodies. Now, Tensi, what do you know about the effects of vegetable oil on the human body? What do you know?
So, vegetable oil is a trans fat, and if you've ever taken like a nutrition class, whether it's in college or like a community class, um, then you probably know that any amount of trans fat is inflammatory to the body. So, inflammation just basically means it's kind of like when your cells are feeling like they're on fire. So your cell goes on click click lockdown, okay? It becomes swollen and inflamed, kind of like when you see swelling in your like when you see swelling in your joints or something like that. And with okay, we're gonna have to get back up and walk. But it's a bad oil that if you are struggling with controlling your blood sugar or anything autoimmune or yada yada yada, or pains in the body, it will make it worse. And digestion issues, it'll make it worse.
Yeah, namely digestion issues. Namely, okay? Before these vegetable oils, before we were eating engine lubricant.
And that includes now sunflower and safflower oil, which is crazy.
Sunflower oil, safflower oil,
and vegan butters.
Vegan butters are the worst. Margarines, canola oil, corn oil, vegetable oil. These engine lubricants, okay? Before them, we were a relatively and like largely, I would say, healthy. Okay. Now, healthy does not mean in all of our behaviors, because we all already obviously had a big a big party scene, and a big. We weren't the most moral people on the planet, but we were physically healthy. I challenge you viewers out there to look at some high school PE footage from 1972 or 1974, right? From the 70s. Look at the high school PE class footage that was recorded on, various cameras. And then go to a high school and just look at the students. It is, and PE was required for everybody, right? Most of these schools, especially good schools. A world of difference, right? Look at footage from people walking in New York City, in Manhattan, from the same time period or before, right? 50s, 60s, 70s. And then look, 90s, 2010s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, and it's a world of difference. Well, what happened? Well, people started eating engine oil and couldn't digest their food because their body didn't know where to store these trans fats and what to do. We were in shape. We had to go to gym and walk everywhere. Yes, we were in shape. I wasn't even alive, but we were in shape. Okay. um. Oh, I lost the train of thought that I was just on, but regardless, we had, oh, that's right, your body didn't know what to do with this oil, and so it clogged up various parts, and you got bigger and bigger and bigger, unbeknownst to you, while eating these healthy choices. Also, fast food, which fast food has always used vegetable oils, and all of that. It's point being the propaganda campaign for convincing people to eat engine lubricant. Okay, and obviously they didn't call it engine lubricant. They called it vegetable oil and seed oil and canola oil and Crisco and all of that. To get people to eat that in their food or every day was a extremely successful worldwide campaign that changed the makeup of the human body, especially here in the West. Okay, the Western Hemisphere. So how to combat propaganda? How to combat this onslaught of untrue and immoral information that we are fed, and be better in the face of these bad choices that we are so accustomed to making. I would say develop a truth diet. That's why today's episode is called Truth Diet. You want to mindfully curate your media diet. You want to put together limits to just scrolling, or consuming negativity. You want to put together uh, your own scientifically, or how to say, using the scientific method, right? Your own using the scientific method strategies for fact checking sources and fact checking information for yourself on a regular basis, at least when it comes to what's being advertised to you, right? You cannot avoid advertisements. I don't care how much you pay per month on your subscriptions, you are going to be advertised to while you're driving. You're going to be advertised to, on somebody else's is playing the music, or you're in a restaurant, whatever it is. You cannot escape advertising. And so if you start to hear something and it's an appropriate moment, look it up, right? Fact check it, see if it's actually true, and try your best to consume content from holistic experts, if you will. Okay, I'm going to make that term up. Holistic experts, people that holistically dive into various topics that you are interested in and passionate about. Health conscious influencers, community leaders, scientifically minded people, um, herbalists and nutritionists. These people that holistically dive into these topics and discussions, try and follow those type of pages as much as you can bear it.
And just to give some great pages that I follow that you might be interested into. In terms of holistic health, Dr. Bobby Price, or he's Dr. Holistic on Instagram, Dr. Bobby Price on YouTube. Dr. Mindy Pelz is also great in terms of like balancing hormones and that whole thing. And then in terms of just nutrition, someone that vets through a lot of scientific studies, some good little gems you can also glean from Dr. Greger on YouTube.
How do you spell Greger?
Gregor.
Oh shit! Okay.
Dr. Greger. He got big old bottle cap glasses. Okay.
Dr. Greger with big old bottle cap glasses.
You'll see him. Okay.
Are bottle caps big? Oh, I guess it depends on the bottle cap.
Like Mr. Magoo.
I got you.
But he's a truth teller in terms of nutrition, or at least he tries to be. So those, and then as far as the truth telling space, you can give some recommendations.
Yeah.
Like Mark Posse or whoever. Affirm Life Daily also is great to check out her podcast. But those are the main ones that come to my mind in terms of holistic health. Take good care of this.
Yeah, as far as food for thought, definitely Affirm Life Daily. Find every link that she has at affirmlifedaily.com. Whatonearthishappening.com is probably the best starting place there is and will be for the next 100 years, especially if you take advantage of Mark Passio's ARC 2.0 offering, because I mean, he's just the most dedicated to spreading some of this information than anybody. Like, number one on earth for dedication, at least in my book. Is whatonearthishappening.com, as well as the What on Earth is Happening podcast, and that's run by Mark Passio. Cynthia Mitchell runs Affirm Life Daily. You have uh, this podcast, Ufulu Child, Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast, and our website is ufuluchild.com. But the the links, the quick links that we put in these, in our bios and stuff, that's even better. So Linktree/Ufulu Child. That's linktr.ee/Ufulu Child is our link tree. And I don't know, government is slavery. Okay. But if we want to acknowledge the world that we're in right now, I would say, find a couple politically charged content creators that you jive with as well. And then there's Corey. Shoot, what is his? I forget his channel name, but I think it's Corey. It's Corey E. Ah, man, I'm gonna have to put it in the comments, y'all. Cynthia, if you know Corey's channel, please put it in the comments so I can say it. His channel is really, really dope. I can't look it up on my phone right now because my phone has Facebook feed on it. So, and that's where I know where it is. But yeah, man, try and follow some good content creators that will give you food for thought that is good food and not bad food. Other than that, thank you guys so very much for tuning in to today's episode 106, 107. No, 105, 106, 107. Yeah, 107 of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. Make sure you get a copy of Culture Control, written by me, yours truly, Soul Expression, Why the Love of Money is Objectively the Root of All Evil, and dive deeper into what influences you, how it influences you, and how to break free from said influence. I get more and more pictures every day of people that finally got their copy in the mail. Some of them want me to come out to their city and sign it, and I will do so. I will come sign it. Don't know when, but I'll be there. And really, really appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Move Day. Or no, wait, tomorrow is the holiday. So maybe we'll see you tomorrow for Move Day. Maybe not. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But love y'all. Peace.